You ready to sing? Not gonna sing? Hi, I'm Liam, a case manager at the Coffee Oasis in Burwell, and I'm honored to work with all of my clients and see what their successes are. This young lady has blown me away with the amount of work she's done in about a year and a half. So all I'm going to say is with my pleasure to introduce Arianna.
Okay, this is a lot of people, and I honestly wasn't expecting this many people. So, oh gosh, I'm so scared. Okay, so I just wanted to thank everyone for being here tonight and for inviting me and having me here. I'm very anxious, so if I rumble and just stumble over my words, I apologize. So my story started when I was about 4 through 10 years old, and I was abused by my biological father, physically, sexually, emotionally, and mentally. And then I get to middle school, and I struggled academically. I struggled with making friends. I struggled with being bullied, and I just struggled with anxiety and depression from what had happened when I was younger. And then when I was around 16, and I'm embarrassed to admit it, I got sent to juvie for fighting. It was and I told myself I wasn't gonna cry. It was a really hard time in my life. I then decided I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't get into fights. I couldn't get suspended. I couldn't go around doing stupid stuff. Eventually, it would have made me end up on the streets, or really a lot of things could have happened to me being so young and just thinking I could do whatever I wanted. Around my junior year, there was a lot going on in my home with my mom and my dad. And I had to tell my mom that it was time for me to go. I had to move out at 17 years old. I didn't have to, but I thought I couldn't be there anymore. There was just too much for me. And so, sadly, they understood, and I left. I ended up moving into my girlfriend's house, and a little bit after that, we got kicked out. We spent the night outside in the rain. And that I don't tell many people. I've only told Lee and my mom. We got kicked out, and we grabbed what we needed for the most part and spent the night outside. The next morning, we were able to get a hotel, and I had to call my teacher and explain to her I could not do school anymore. And I was worried about not graduating. My teacher was worried for me. She became my best friend throughout high school. She was the only one I could talk to. And after that, she had contacted my counselor, who contacted Coffee Oasis in Belfair, because that's where I was at. And I had my first case manager, which was Amanda. She was absolutely amazing. She got me and my girlfriend a toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, basic necessities that you need on a daily basis. She even got us food. We didn't have money for food. We spent it for a hotel so we could sleep somewhere. And after that, I got sent to the Coffee Oasis out here, and I got to meet Lee. And that's where it really started for me. I couldn't stay with Amanda because I didn't live out in Belfair anymore. So when I first started going to the Coffee Oasis, as you can tell, I have anxiety. I started crying in front of all these people. So when I got there, I was nervous, and yet everybody here tonight they were supportive and sweet and kind and did not judge me for what I went through. They helped me with more than I thought I would get help with. I got my social security card. I got my birth certificate. I got food stamps. I didn't have a job, so I ended up getting a job. I got renter's insurance? Or assistance. My bad. Renter's assistance, which helped me pay my bills. And then I got to meet their now ex-counselor. His name was Brian. And I thought that it was amazing that they had a counselor, someone there that kids like me could go and talk to. And when I started talking to him, he helped me with what I was feeling, and now they have a hotline, so now I know I can just text if I need it. But there was just a lot going on, and the Coffee Oasis did more for me than what I thought they were. I didn't know that they were a shelter at the time. I would walk past the street and just think, oh, it's a coffee place, like Starbucks or any other coffee place. And finally, when I got sent there, there was so many unique teens, so many who had stories, so many people you just want to talk to. And they all had either similarities like me, or they went through worse, or they went through less. Regardless, they had issues. Not issues. They had things they were going through. And so currently, I am only 19 years old. I graduated in June of 21. And surprise, now I am in college and started in July of 2021. I have a wonderful job. I am able to pay my bills. And I am working on getting my driver's license because that's another thing that scares me. So if I ever saw a young person like me on the streets, for one, I would help them as much as I could, because that was me one day. It was around this time last year, actually, when it was just pouring rain. And I know all of you know how cold it gets here. It's always cold. So I would help them in whatever way I can. And I would tell them, go to the Coffee Oasis. I was the same struggling teen who didn't have family or just was going through a lot and needed the extra support. And a lot of kids my age, they feel like they can't get a job, or they can't get assistance, or they can't do what they're capable of. But the case managers help you set up goals. They help you achieve those goals, and they work with you slowly. And even if it's slowly over the time, I was here literally a year and a half ago, just being that kid on the streets, and now I graduated and I'm in college. So it all works out. Hopefully I got my point across, because I'm nervous, so now I want to get off. But before I get off,
Thank you for listening to my story.
Oh, I was going to say something.
Okay, yeah.
What I was going to say, which is kind of what she told me to say, was thank you to everyone for coming out tonight and for listening to mine and Bethany's story, and just for helping out in any way you can.